I'll probably history of an entire world. I guess I'll probably check that out on my next stream, my dude. That's a good idea. I completely forgot about that, and I haven't seen any of them, legit. So that's a good one. Thank you, thank you. Today I just want to because I want to do some scaries. This is an old freaking channel I used to watch way back. It's like a 2-year-old video. But it's so cool to see a bunch of abandoned, like, amusement parks and stuff. It's super creepy.
This is especially true when you submerge animatronics in it.
Has anybody here gone to the freaking in Disneyland here in California? There's a little Finding Nemo, like, submarine adventure. It's nothing too crazy, but it terrifies me. It's actually genuinely horrifying to me, just being underwater like that.
The idea of being in the water with the twisting gears, sharp edges, and often terrifying imagery of these machines creates the ultimate nightmare fuel.
I don't have submechaphobia, submechanophobia, but there's definitely like an eeriness to some of this stuff.
Being an essential part of the theme.
Look at this!
I figured it was time to give this subject my Listaholic Top 10 treatment. So as voted on by the fans, here.
Okay, I was on this ride at Universal's once, right? There's a particular part where a completely separate mechanical shark jumps up right in front of the frickin' car, and it shoots like fire up and stuff. I was sitting right next to the frickin' thing. I was like 10 years old, dude. It freaked me out. I was 10 years old, and I just look over to my left slightly, and there's just a giant frickin' maw of a shark just in front of me, and this blazing of fire, and I just, the same thing happened to me on Indiana Jones ride. I just, with the snake.
The top 10 scariest underwater animatronics to give you some.
And you all know how I am with spiders. That mummy section where things start to crawl on your legs, no!
Number 10.
Bad!
Crocodile, located at England's Watermouth Castle. Found in Devon County, England, Watermouth Castle is a small family theme park with a lot going for it. This park is centered around a large historical dwelling built all the way back in 1825. Among its surrounding attractions is a series of...
I love small theme parks like this. It's super awesome.
To enjoy. One of the main features of this park is an array of animatronic figures for guests to check out. Among these figures are gnomes, anthropomorphic animals, and a truly unsettling crocodile. Placed behind a stone wall and a caged window, this croc is shrouded in darkness until it surfaces. The only movement this creature seems to make is rising out of the water, and the only sound it makes is the water dripping off of it. The sheer simplicity of its design somehow makes it even creepier.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because honestly, yeah, we know how much you love spiders. They're my favorite. That's the thing. I watch documentaries on them. I love spiders. I think they're really cool creatures. They terrify everything about me.
And the lack of lighting only adds to its bone-chilling appearance. It just goes to show that when it comes to inciting fear in some mechanics,
I feel like if they did like the cheesy, it actually ruins the scariness of it. You know, because real alligators, I feel like there's a natural instinct for us to just, like, if we don't hear it coming, and it just does, and we notice it because of the water dripping and stuff, there's just, like, this innate instinct that we're just like, that's not correct. That's something, no, that shouldn't be. That's, you know, like, when you, that's why feng shui is a big thing. You want to have a big open space and not have a lot of stuff blocking your view, because, you know, we're just naturally built to always be on the lookout for, like, tigers and stuff. Like, we don't want to get snuck up on by a predator.
Sometimes less is more. Number 9,
that's why we prefer big open spaces as opposed to claustrophobic, small, tight and close spots.
California's Disneyland. Just because Disneyland is called the happiest place on earth doesn't mean it's never had anything creepy in it. Through the
Wait, where is this at?
It's certainly had its fair share of unsettling.
I know it's in Disneyland, but I'm saying where's the frickin', I don't remember a giant octopus or a giant squid ride.
For their own video. There's the Haunted Mansion, the original.
Love the Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion is one of the best rides. I love it, absolutely, every time. Especially when they turn it into the Christmas time. They change it over to the Nightmare Before Christmas theme. Love it.
Alice in Wonderland ride, the now defunct Underwear Museum, and of course, the famous Submarine Voyage. Built on the former spot of the failed Phantom Boats ride, guests would board a submarine and were taken on a journey into the deep seas.
Okay, now this is a Finding Nemo ride. This is the one.
Several undersea
They've removed the squid.
These included sharks, mermaids, and a terrifying deep-sea giant squid. Admittedly, video of this squid is pretty hard to come by, especially since it was found in a dark portion of the ride. This squid utilized compressed air and wires to move its tentacles, giving it an unnervingly lifelike appearance. But this wasn't the only notable attraction on this ride. The submarine would come across a sea serpent. Its long, scaly body would be shown at first, building up tension before guests come in contact with the face. Its big, bulging eyes and frozen, open-mouth facial expression has
that they tried to make that goofy looking. No, you see an ARG call Welcome Home.
been described as cute by some.
There's an ARG called Welcome Home. I'll probably check that one as well, my
and
dude.
Creepy by others. Outside of the water, this serpent is often considered to be far friendlier looking than it does.
It doesn't. Look at this. This looks freaking disturbing. That doesn't look far friendly. It doesn't look any better to me outside of the water. It looks absolutely, like, cursed.
But what do you think? Is this serpent creepy or cute?
Incredibly creepy.
The swimming dino from Tennessee's Jurassic Boat Ride. It's needless to say that the city of Pigeon...
Admittedly, Jurassic Park ride, I'm freaking terrified of it. I've been on it a couple times. I love it. It's super cool. I love the animatronics of it. I especially love the Universal part where, like, the Jeep falls down. Oh, it's such a good, like, design of a ride. I love amusement park ride designs. But like, just something about the fact that it's a freaking giant lizard T-Rex thing. It's just, yeah.
Tennessee is all about tourism.
I think it's the fact that they're giant.
Dinner shows to its world-renowned theme park Dollywood, this southern city has quite a lot of charm to it. Everywhere you turn, there's something new to check out. And one of these attractions is perhaps the most terrifying boat ride in the country. Just a short walk away from the Alcatraz East Crime Museum is a standalone boat ride attraction called Jurassic Boat Ride.
That's so cool, dude. If I ever become a millionaire, which is not going to happen, I will absolutely open up my own, like just one building for one ride, just one giant freaking awesome ride.
This dark ride sits passengers in a small boat, taking them through a dark, spine-tingling adventure through a prehistoric jungle. With ferocious dinosaurs and creepy crawlies,
no!
This ride
Why? Why'd I pause it?
To keep you on edge, and it's like something straight out of
Oh, dude, that being said, for some reason, it's not the legs. I know it's not the legs on spiders, because I freaking love millipedes a lot.
Pasta. Just look at the jaw of this T-Rex. Holy sh**. Though most of the dinosaurs aren't actually in the water, one mysterious creature was able to make this list. Towards the middle of the ride, a mysterious dinosaur head emerges from the water, baring its teeth at boats passing by. The fact that it gets so close to the boat is made even more startling by the devilish red light that shines upon it. Unfortunately, this animatronic reportedly stopped working around 2015.
Oh, it's broken now.
It still sits in the water.
I like a puppet show from the 70s.
The top of its head
oh, welcome home.
From the boat.
Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about. Is it like a yellow puppet with blue hair? I've had it recommended to me. I haven't watched it yet.
Located under
you paused it because you loved them. No, I didn't.
Maelstrom ride it.
So you know what that was? That was instinctual, like playing a horror video game. And what am I looking at? Oh my goodness! What another pause! What a great pause! Freaking A! What it was is, you know how in video games you could just pause the game and just walk away from when it's too scary. I think that's what it was. I think that was instinct.
Since 1982, Epcot has been one of the...
Like, for some reason, I thought if I paused the video, like, the pause menu would show up in a video game, and I'd be able to, like, not look at it.
You can find pavilions
I don't know.
on various countries around the world. A few years after the park's opening, the World Showcase would see the debut of the Norway Pavilion. This celebration of all things Scandinavia featured a wide variety of shops and restaurants, along with its star
what a cool idea.
Maelstrom. Named after a powerful whirlpool, this boat ride served as the ultimate tribute to Norwegian history and mythology. Guests would encounter Vikings, polar bears, and a few trolls. Towards the middle of the ride, one segment involved a three-headed troll angrily banishing guests from his territory. Right next to this irate fellow is a creature known as a Nukken. According to Norwegian mythology, the Nukken is a water spirit that lures people to their deaths.
Oh wow, is that what freaking... I just realized that. There's a character in Rainbow Six Siege that has like a ghillie suit with the net on it called Knock. I just realized now that this is a reference to this. Wow.
Lakes and streams. On
Knockin' knock. Okay.
Portrayed by a submerged animatronic with what appear to be branches on its head. What makes the Nukken especially creepy is the bright yellow eyes that peer at guests through the dark. Even worse, the boat stops upon his appearance, before being sent backwards by the three-headed troll. This gives guests even more time to look at his bright, piercing stare. This guy surely must have given kids nightmares during its original run.
I didn't even know trolls had 3 heads.
Dark ride was recently closed in 2014. Maelstrom was completely refurbished and rethemed to Frozen Ever After.
Why? Why? Why would you do this? What an absolute crime! We need more scary rides. We don't freaking need another Frozen ride.
The Nucken and the three-headed troll.
Admittedly, that looks good.
By Queen Elsa. While Frozen Ever After is absolutely incredible on its own, it's still unfortunate that Maelstrom had.
Those are really good animatronics, though.
Number 6. The Sea Monster, located on the I Corsari ride at Italy's Gardaland.
That's terrifying just by the picture alone, dude.
Perhaps the most notable theme park in Italy is the incredible Gardaland. This park is jam-packed with colorful and
that looks awesome
attractions for everyone to enjoy.
What a cool
From the
design!
Family rides to the wonderfully themed roller coasters, every attraction stands out. This is also true for the dark ride I Corsari. Think of this boat ride as the Italian equivalent of Pirates of the Caribbean.
That looks
like
awesome!
The Disney ride, guests will go on a swashbuckling adventure with decorative set pieces and animatronics. Most of these figures are tame, but one in particular is a big old bucket of nope for submechanophobics. Towards the middle of the ride, you'll spot a serpent-like tail sticking out of the water. Then, as if ascending from the watery depths of Davy Jones' locker, an aquatic hellspawn rises out of the water. Aquaphobics will gaze in horror as water spews forth from its mouth. After emerging, this creature will bare its face to the riders. The combination of its human-like face and puppet-like mouth makes its appearance.
Dude, we need more of that stuff in pirate movies. That's freaking horrifying.
Particularly discomforting. Some passengers may say it's so scary, it'll make they could scroll down to the comment section in real life. There's not much else to say about this dude, except you may be seeing him in your nightmares tonight.
I definitely will.
The shark attack from the Hollywood tour ride at Germany's Phantasialand.
Look at how many teeth that thing had!
Phantasialand is well known by thrill seekers for its excellent selection of roller coasters. However, it's also home to various
that's awesome,
including a water-based.
Oh, that's dope! Hold on, that's like an Aztec themed.
However, it's also home to.
Or Mayan theme, maybe? I'm not too sure. It's freaking dope, though!
Various other attractions, including a water-based dark ride. This ride, named Hollywood Tour, takes parkgoers through the classic motion pictures of old. Starting off with an introduction by the animatronic of legendary director Alfred Hitchcock, you'll find yourself whisked away through several famous
King
movies,
Kong,
including King
That's
Kong,
dope.
Wizard of Oz, and Steven Spielberg's Jaws. The scene begins in a mock New England fishing village, and things seem peaceful at first. As you turn right, though, things take a turn for the worst. A shark fin suddenly appears out of the water, swimming past another animatronic of a fisherman in a yellow raincoat. Suddenly, his boat starts to sink, which is already unsettling enough, but immediately
Goodness! Oh wow! That's brutal!
A shark will rise out of the water right next to the boat, showing guests its razor-sharp looking teeth. And as if that weren't enough, another shark pops out on the opposite side of the boat to make sure guests on each side of the boat get a piece of the action. So if you're afraid of sharks, and water, and the dark, this ride would be a great exposure therapy. Number 4, Moby Dick, located on the defunct Hunt for Moby Dick ride at Massachusetts Pleasure Island. After the success of Disneyland, several other theme parks started popping up across the country. One of these parks was Pleasure Island in Wakefield, Massachusetts.
Bad choice in name. That doesn't sound to me like a theme park ride I'd take my kids to Pleasure Island.
This park featured 2 main themed lands. A Western-themed area, as well as one based on a New England fishing village. The latter featured the park's most famous attraction, the Hunt for Moby Dick. Based on the recently released 1956 Gregory Peck film, this boat ride took guests on an excursion to find and hunt down Moby Dick. Guests would tangle with the rhinoceros, gaze on a few porpoises, and have a close encounter with the legendary white whale himself. For 1959, this animatronic was truly ahead of its time, measuring at an estimated 50 feet long.
That thing is huge.
This ghostly white animatronic would rise out of the murky water and bare its teeth, and the sight of it alone was quite intimidating. According to historian Robert McLaughlin, several past guests say this whale really spooked them as kids, with many saying they wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a ginormous frickin'.
It was undoubtedly an impressive sight.
Look at it!
Fortunately, during its run at the park, the animatronic would be extremely difficult to maintain.
It's like Attack on Titan. There was the second you make something ginormous, it's just a bit scarier, isn't it?
The design was problematic, with the wheels running on what seemed like a trolley track. Unlike roller coasters, the wheels didn't lock onto the track, and with the fiberglass whale being full of air, it would often float off said track. Since the natural pond couldn't be drained, a diver would have to be sent underwater to fix and
Oh, screw that! Having to dive in there.
Even after
Next to
holes were
it.
drilled into the back to prevent it from floating, the ride was still a maintenance nightmare. Over the course of a decade, this park would quickly lose popularity. Its focus on slower, family-focused rides just couldn't keep up with the increasing demand for thrill rides in the industry. And towards the end of its run, the owners didn't even bother to maintain the whale, and the ride would cease to operate before the park shut down. After deciding the land was more valuable than the park, Pleasure Island's owners would close it down after Labor Day 1969.
Oh, that's
Nowadays,
sad.
office buildings and an apartment complex sit on the park's former spot, but the aforementioned pond still remains.
Oh, you think somebody left a freaking whale down there? Animatronic like me, yes.
Eerily enough, the ramp
Though less
used to move
advanced.
the whale into the water is still on the property. It is even rumored that the whale itself still sits in the water to this day.
Just
By the way,
sunken
special
down there?
Thanks to Robert McLaughlin for helping me with the research for this segment. He's got some amazing books on Pleasure Island and an entire website.
I'm
with
sorry,
research.
what? I'm just sorry. I'm just looking at the selling point for Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island County Store: souvenirs, pickles, preserves, and spices. Like just such a. Hey, you guys want souvenirs? No, pickles. It's like
For this segment,
I'll take a pickle. I'm not talking bad.
An entire website about
It's just weird that that's like your selling point, you know?
In the description. Number 3.
You can't resist a good pickle. It's, you know, I'm just imagining how the board was talking about that whole situation. You know what gets the kids? Pickles.
This park perfectly mixes state-of-the-art attractions with elaborate fantasy theming. Prime examples include the steampunk.
Good
state-of-the-art
gracious, my dude.
attractions
I'm
with
sorry, not hating, but that is the largest freaking nose piercing I've ever seen in my life. Good gracious. And not only does he have, like, the thing, like, the bottom one, he has, like, one on either side, too. It looks kind of like a little human, like two little ball, like, hands, and then two little, like, legs, and his nose is the body. Can you guys see that? I'm so sorry. I'm just ragging on this one guy for no reason, but just I don't know. It was very noticeable.
Prime
That's all I'm saying.
examples include the steampunk-themed dive coaster Baron 1898, as well as the.
I'm all for nose piercings. I think like the little dot on the side is really cute, but like there's some people who take it way too far.
Flying Pagoda. But the attraction we're going to talk about right now is the dark ride Fata Morgana, first opening in 1986.
Are you making fun of me? What'd you call me, Fata? You're a Fata.
This boat ride can be best described
I'm not
as a journey
fat.
through
You're
Middle
fat.
Eastern folklore. Based on 1001 Arabian Nights, your boat will pass through a wide variety of scenes brought to life by 140 animatronics. You'll feast your eyes on the Sultan's gold, sail through the marketplace, face off with a giant djinn, and witness the
Whoa,
horrors of
that
the
one's
torture
awesome.
Chamber. Yes, a torture chamber. This scene features a
It looks like a yellow-haired human-sized woodpecker.
ordering prisoners to work the machines. This is already dark enough, but directly across this scene is where things get even darker. On your right, you'll see a prison cell filled with water. A prisoner can be seen clinging onto the bars, bobbing his head up and down, trying not to drown. Needless to say,
That's
this is
horrifying.
more unsettling than anything on Pirates of the Caribbean. Now just imagine It's a Small World having a torture chamber. Again, with that song that plays over and over again, some may say it already is one. Plus, Disney is no stranger to torture chambers. They did distribute Cars 2 into theaters after all. Number 2.
Oh,
the
goodness, I
entire
remember that
Jaws
movie.
ride at Florida's Universal Studios Orlando and Universal.
I love it. I love how everything else is like, oh, this one specific animatronic, this one specific robot. We get to Jaws, it's like literally all of it. The entire ride is a freaking horror fest.
Studios Japan. Based on the movie Jaws, this ride was meant to expand on Universal Studios Hollywood's.
Dude, I don't know if they still do it, but they even have like a diver going into the water and then suddenly red water, like blood in the water. It's freaking
This new
insane.
ride would be insanely complex, putting guests in the water with the film's titular shark. Though its initial opening in 1990 suffered from numerous technical difficulties, the ride would be vastly improved upon by 1993. This version is still remembered fondly to this day.
Yeah, this is a super
ride
cool.
centers around guests boarding a boat and taking a scenic
Where the
cruise
fire,
around
like, starts to
Amity
reach
Island.
out.
Things go awry though when the great white shark himself destroys another tour boat. State-of-the-art animatronics were used to give the shark a highly detailed and bone-chilling appearance. Being surrounded by water with no immediate escape
Rainbow shark! Rainbow shark!
only adds to the ride's terror, and the water
Hey, we don't know the shark's sexuality.
Water's lack of transparency makes the shark's appearances even more startling.
It might just be a huge supporter of the LGBTQ.
Out of the ride's
Jaws.
6 shark animatronics, 2 of them in particular are especially traumatizing. The first occurs in the boathouse, where guests attempt to hide from the shark. I personally remember thinking such a big shark wouldn't fit inside the small boathouse. Just as the boat is about to go outside though, the shark comes charging from the corner, with the interior darkness of the boathouse making him even more terrifying. Towards the end of the ride, the shark will bite a power line, causing it to be burnt to a crisp. And in all my years on this planet, I've never screamed as hard as I did seeing this electrocuted monstrosity. To the disappointment
The
of
rainbow
it
shark
was not to last, and in 2011, the Florida version would
You have the Yee haircut.
more Harry Potter
That's what I'm
attractions. However, a near exact clone of this ride still exists at Universal Studios Japan to this day.
Oh, I want to go now. Chaos! When we go to Japan someday in the far future. We gotta go check out that freaking Jaws ride.
So if you're a fan of the original, a trip to Japan is highly recommended. Before we get to the number 1 spot, here are a few honorable
The heck
mentions.
is that?
First up is Mildred the Crocklebog at England's
Mildred!
Bewilderwood. You can see this creature on the Bewilder boat ride. As you sail past her, she will spray water from her nostrils. Though she does look intimidating while submerged, a closer look at the figure reveals that she's much more cute than
Oh,
scary.
wow.
The park website says, quote, Mildred
Cute? I'm sorry. No. You call that cute? That's cute. How about that? You think that's cute? Okay.
look at the figure reveals that she's much more cute than scary. The park website says, quote, Mildred is really a vegetarian, and she often tries to make friends with butterflies, but people seem to get the wrong impression of her. As such, I simply didn't have the heart to
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't care if she's a vegetarian. I ain't gonna risk it. I don't want to be the person that convinces her that meat is good. I don't want her to suddenly find out that meat tastes really, really good. Like, you know? So I ain't trying to be I ain't trying to be there.
to put this lovely lady on the list. She's
I'll throw
simply
carrots
too
in the water.
charming
I
to
ain't
be
know.
scary. And the park even sells plush toys of her. How could I possibly call this poor girl scary? Next up is
I would like a plush.
the sea serpent from the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride at Florida's Magic Kingdom. This one just missed making the list. Like Mildred, I also thought this fellow was more cute than scary. Though I
That's
must
not
admit,
cute. That's
the pictures
terrifying.
of it sitting abandoned are absolute nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Geez, this looks like something straight out of the SCP universe. Number 1. Bertha the Bunyip, located at Australia's...
The heck is that?
This animatronic won my poll in a landslide. Originating from indigenous Australian mythology, the Bunyip is a mythological water-dwelling creature.
Weeaboo
also
shark,
known as
the rainbow, yeah.
It is said to
Normal,
inhabit
how's it going, my
areas like
dude?
swamps, riverbeds, and creeks, coming out at night to devour any human or animal in sight. In 1972, a man named Dennis Newell created his own rendition of the Bunyip as a coin-operated tourist attraction. Over the years, though, the water would eat away at the exterior, leaving it more and more abandoned looking. And as if one of these creatures wasn't enough, the Bunyip was given a baby in 1982 and renamed Bertha. 18
Oh,
years
great.
later, though, both the baby
Freaking look at that thing! Something about the fact that it's behind the cage doesn't make it better.
and its mother were a truly terrifying pair, with their pupils washed out over the years. These pictures are beyond nightmare fuel. I can't even properly describe how disturbing they look. So to restore it to its former glory, this local treasure was given a major makeover in the year 2000. Nowadays, the Bunyip is much more cartoonish
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was an improvement. This just looks goofy.
and less scary looking than it was before. On the other hand, it's still extremely popular with the locals, and is ranked as the #1 thing to do
Okay, that looks horrifying now. You added more.
Murray Bridge by TripAdvisor. Despite its toned-down appearance, there's no doubt that tourists and submechanophobics agree that they wouldn't want to get in the water with this thing. Can't get enough submechanophobia for
I
one
wouldn't want to
video?
get in the water with
Feel
any
free
of
to
it.
Check out
I had a single one.
video on Disney submechanophobia. This is
I came a
definitely
little
one of
late,
my
probably
favorite
already gonna
YouTube
end the reaction
channels,
part.
and they did a
So
great
we got
job
one
with this
more,
subject.
like, it's
If you
honestly
wanna
like a
check out
30-minute
the
long
video, I've put a link in the description
analog
as well.
horror clip
Thank
that I've
you
been
all
seeing
so
going around
much,
the internet.
and if you want to support me on Patreon, I've put a link in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com. This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.
We're gonna feed the algorithm here, but yeah, dude, no, like I said earlier, for me, the top two like most terrifying things that happened to me in a freaking thing like that was that instance where I freaking happened to just be standing right next to the frickin' jaw shark when it popped up. And that frickin' just terrified me. But then also, I happened to be, I got into the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, and there's just a particular section where you start climbing up a ladder, and there's just this terrifying looking, like, dragon at the top. It looks kind of like a Chinese dragon that they've really, like, edited and made it look a little too human. But then once you get to the very top, and you're, like, past that part, you just, like, pause, and there's just this frickin' just snake that just like, it just frickin' like lunges at you and spits water to be like venom. And I just at 10 years old, dude, I just happened to sit in both instances right next to the frickin' jump scare. I was like trying to avoid looking at a bunch of stuff too. So I didn't like notice that the frickin' snake animatronic was there the whole time. Just when it sprayed water at me. Goodness sake, okay.